people trickling in, but we're going to go ahead and get started because we've got a jam-packed day. How's everybody doing? All right. Well, it is May 12th, so we're in the middle of graduations and going on summer break and summer vacations and all kinds of stuff going on. So for everybody that made it out and is here today, I want to say congratulations for being here, and I can assure you, you will not be disappointed for the time and the money that you spent for being here. I'm going to be short and sweet, but my name is Brian Brown. I've been with World Ventures now for a little over 10 years, had an absolute blast, and created some of the best memories ever through this idea of World Ventures. So just by a show of hands, I want to see how many of you guys have been involved for less than 60 days. If you've been involved for less than 60 days, raise your hand. Awesome. So this is the beginning of what we're calling World Ventures 2.0, and what's taken place over the last 6 months or so is something that we're titling our legacy turn. What's taken place in the last 6 months in this window of time is what we're calling our legacy turn. And I could talk about that more and more and more, but you'll see what that means over the next year, 2 years as we move into this entire new way that World Ventures looks. But real quick, Tony from Hug It Forward wanted me to mention that if any of you guys forgot a notebook or need a notebook, we've got a foundation called the World Ventures Foundation, partnered with the Hug It Forward Foundation, where they build Bible schools for kids. You're going to get to hear from him a little bit later today. But if you would like a notebook, you can purchase one for a $5 donation to that foundation right outside of the doors out here around the corner. If you forgot a notebook and would like to purchase one, number one, you get to remember what you learned about here today because you wrote it down. And then second of all, you get to contribute to a good cause. Cool? All right. Ready to get this thing started? Yeah. Good. So we're going to have 4 different speakers today. We're going to have, actually, 5 different speakers today. We're going to have a couple people. It's going to be a unique format and a unique setup. We're going to have somebody live streaming in on Zoom from South Africa. All right. We've also got some surprise people from executives from our corporate headquarters that are going to be also joining us for a handful of minutes. And I'll introduce each person one by one throughout the day as you get to hear. But if you're here for the first time, here's what I want you to know. Don't try to capture everything that you hear today. You're going to hear so many great nuggets, so many great philosophies and techniques and skills that you can implement into your business. But one thing, if I've learned anything, is that if you can just take 1 or 2 things from today and say, okay, I'm going to start implementing this into my life. I'm going to start implementing this into my business. That's how you move forward. If you try to take it all and try to go put it into action, you're probably going to be frustrated or overwhelmed. It's just too much stuff. Take 1 or 2 things, really put it in action over the next, couple weeks and see what takes place with your business. So I'm going to kick off. I have the privilege of introducing our first guest speaker. This gentleman and his wife from Colorado Springs they're just good people. They're just good people. They're the kind of people that you want to have as friends. They're the kind of people that, you just want. They say you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around the most. Well, that applies to spiritual life, financial life, business life, relationships. I mean, they're just people that you want to be around for those reasons. And they've done very well with this idea. They've reached the level of regional marketing director, which is basically there are only 2 other levels beyond that in the entire company. And what they've been able to do is unique because they've had a ton of fun along the way in their journey of getting to where they are. And I'm not going to steal his story because he's going to share up here today. But regional marketing directors, 100K lifetime earners, and their team loves them. They just have so much fun building this business. They got a background in real estate, did very, very well in that business. And so I'm a big believer that success leaves clues. Can we all agree? So if you're one of the top real estate people in Colorado Springs and all of Colorado, wouldn't it make sense to pay attention to why would they decide to do World Ventures as opposed to anything else? See, to me, success leaves clues. So they were already tremendously successful. They've had an incredible journey, and you know what? They've got guts. Bottom line. Don't you love being around people and being partnered with people who got guts? They do. All right, so you're gonna get to hear from this gentleman twice today. Regional Marketing Director, a good friend, team player. Give it up for Mr. Jeff Morrell.
Saturday morning. Who real quick, because I know Brian asked who's been here less than 6 months. This is your very first training ever. Raise your hand. Very first one. Awesome. Cool. Very cool. So, here's what's cool, guys. I mean, there's a lot of places you can be right now. Saturday morning, it's a beautiful day until you get out. It's a little cloudy out here on the way up. Sunshine. There's a lot of things you can do. But you chose to be here, and pat yourself on the back for that. Seriously. It's going to be rewarded in a big way. We got a big, big day coming up. Lane, stand up. This is my beautiful wife right here. I can sell something. She bought me. Anyway, we saw this idea, guys, about, it'll be 9 years ago. Back in July. And it's just changed everything about our lives. I mean, we were very successful in real estate. We were selling 140 homes a year, 150 homes a year, our peak years. We had a team doing that, about 4 or 5 of us. We were at Keller Williams. We had the #1 Keller Williams team in Colorado Springs for several years. We were making a lot of money, which was great, but just life broke. Working 90 hours a week, 7 days a week. And, it just got to a point, like, at what point is it not worth it? And when I saw this, I mean, if you'd have walked in my house any day of the week, probably 6 to 8 months prior to this, you'd have seen me on my knees just praying for something different. Something had to change. I couldn't do it anymore. I mean, it was killing me. We got 2 daughters. They were 13 and 10 when we saw this, and they just wanted nothing to do with this. Some of you have heard our story before. I mean, it was crazy times. I mean, we were not doing well. And, this came along. I didn't see it at first as being the answer to that prayer, but after about 6, 8 months, 10 months, it was like it all started clicking. Like, wait, this is that thing I've been looking for. This is the thing. This was the answer to that. And I saw that and thought, wow, we did our very first trip with the company. It was a cruise. 5-day cruise out of San Diego, $380 total for our family. Total. $95 a piece. It was $329 a person on Expedia. We saved $1,000 on our first trip. I was sold. And it worked. Exactly what they said it would. No catch, no hidden fees, nothing, They actually treated us better than they treated the other people on the ship. We got back to our room one night. There's a plate of chocolate-covered strawberries there and a bottle of wine. My wife was getting all romantic on her. And then she opens the card and says, welcome to World Ventures. Like, shoot, I missed that opportunity. I blew that one. I missed that opportunity. I should grab that card before she ever got to that. But anyway, it's just been an amazing experience for us. We've been to Ireland twice with this. We've been to Jamaica. We did this yacht trip at the beginning of the year. It was a lot of fun. We've been to Paris. We did London. We've been to Disney a couple times. I don't know, Mexico probably 15 times. 53 trips in 54 months. So Brian said we're having fun along the way. We're having a blast along the way. Okay, and that's the first thing I'll just say, guys, whatever. Yes, we all got these goals, and yes, we're all going, and we want to hit the top and all this kind of stuff. Absolutely, but have fun along the way. Eric Grisbowski, at Unite, I mean, rule number 1, fun. It's got to be fun, okay? So the one thing I want to hit here real quick, we're going to talk a little bit because for some of you, who in the room, this is your very first experience in network marketing? Raise your hand. Okay, me too. I'd never done this before. I got pitched, oh goodness, at least 20 times. I saw all this stuff. I mean, I could go down the list of companies. I mean, soap, shampoo, coffee, chocolate, candles, insurance, legal stuff, all this stuff. I saw 20 different things. But I got targeted because of our success in real estate. I was always open to look. I said no to 20 of them. This one, I'd never seen it in travel, and that's what got me. Okay, it was really that at first. The business, I thought maybe someday, I'm working 90 hours a week, I don't have time to work another business, but we got back from that first trip, the cruise, and 5 realtors in our office signed up that day. When I told them the price, they wanted to go take the trip, and that was really the start of us doing this business. That was the beginning of it, okay? So, I'd never done it before, I was never really opposed to it, I didn't understand how it all worked necessarily, but I was just like, I'm too busy, I'm working these crazy hours, I don't have time to jump in anything else, I really don't want to try and convince my friends why this vitamin is better than that one. You know, and I don't want the monthly auto ship and all that other stuff. Again, good companies, good products. I'm not going to knock any of them. I just didn't want to do it, okay? This one, Hawaii is Hawaii. I mean, if I show my friends how to get there at half the cost and have a better trip, you know, who wants to hear about that? Right? All of our friends want to hear about that. So here's the thing, guys. What I want to do here, I think, you know, for a lot of us that are new, again, 6 months or less, hands up, real quick. There you go. Okay, so real quick, here's the thing. I think as you're going into these appointments, we're sharing this with our friends, we're going to travel parties, we're bringing our guests to Starbucks, all this kind of stuff. One of the things I really want to hit here is this right here. You've got to build belief, you know, in number one, I think just network marketing. You got to build belief in the company. You got to build belief in yourself, because here's the thing, guys, people are buying you. They're buying you. It helps that it's travel. It helps that, you know, we've got something that they all want. Okay, but they're buying you. If they get the sense that you're just kind of dipping your toe in and feeling this out a little bit, guess what? They're going to wait to see how you do before they ever jump in. They will not do it. You are wasting your time. You've got to get some posture and get some confidence. So I want to just hit a few things here. I'm going to kind of fly through some slides because, you know, just some things that I think is good to just be aware of, and then we're going to start talking about kind of what's going on. So there's a study done, 100 people, okay? You know, started working at age 25. By age of 65, here's where they were at. This is a study that they did over a period of time, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Okay, now some of you guys have seen this before. 63 were dependent on Social Security, friends, relatives, or charity. 63 out of 100. Okay? 29 were dead. That's not good. 3 were still working. 4 had enough money to retire. 1 was wealthy. So basically 5 people out of 100 that really got to where I think we all want to be when we're 65, if not sooner. Who got to retire earlier than 65? Anybody? Yeah? I mean, who wrote that rule that you have to retire at 60? Where did that come from, right? Retirement's not an age, it's an income. You get your money working for you, and you got enough money coming in, and that's coming in every month, building or whatever. You can retire up when you're 30 or 29, or how old are you, Zoe? 29, yeah. He's done if he wants to be done. A lot of these guys up here. So, okay, Americans are going to need $1.5 million to retire comfortably. That's from January this year. These are all current stats, okay? Just want you guys to see a few of these things. How's that working for everybody? Well, here's the deal. 69% of all Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. 69%. 44% of Americans who earn between $100,000 and $150,000 a year have less than $1,000 in savings. 29% of people who are making more than $150,000 a year have less than $1,000 in savings. Wow. This is where we are. We're spending more than we're making. 63% of all Americans are $500 away from financial disaster. Okay? This is what we're up against when we're out there. Do people need what we got? Seriously, guys, 52% of Americans could not cover a $400 unforeseen expense without borrowing the money or selling something. Millennials, raise your hand. Millennials, where are you? Yeah. You guys are in trouble too. You're going in the hole every single month, savings rate of negative 2%. Thanks to factors like high student loan debt, skyrocketing rent prices. This is where we are. Okay? 78% of Americans, full-time workers, paycheck to paycheck. There's more month at the end of the money than you need. The money's running out. The average American household has a total debt of $117,951. That's the average. Total U.S. credit card debt, $793.1 billion. That's where we are. Okay, 1.9 billion active credit card accounts in the U.S., split amongst almost 200 million cardholders. That's nearly 10 per consumer. Here's where we are. Okay? $70 billion spent in 2014 playing the lottery. $70 billion, that's $300 per adult in the United States. How crazy is that? That's where we are. 85% of workers, this is from August of last year, 85% of workers worldwide. What happened? What did they do? Huh? Now this went out. I didn't do it. What did I do? Did I kick it? Oh wow. There you go. You have to come back on in a minute. There you go. That's my fault. I tripped on the cord. Jeez. You don't have to be really good to do this. I just signed up last week, actually. They just threw me up here just to see. So, anyway, I'll have a couple other things while I warm it up. So, 85% of workers worldwide, admit to hating their jobs. That's from a poll last August. There's a quote from Robert Kiyosaki. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Who's read that book? Rich Dad Poor Dad. Everybody needs to read that book. I just read it in January for the 3rd time. You need to keep that on your shelf. And every couple of years, I pull that out, read his series of books. Phenomenal stuff, okay? There's a quote that he had, the American dream is still alive. You just can't do it as an employee. That's where we are, guys. It's a new economy. Okay, the old way of doing things, I'm just telling you, it's done. Okay? And we have not kept up with the corporate world, all this kind of stuff. It's industrial age thinking. Alright? Which I'm going to talk about. So, here, it's coming up right here. So, this quote, and I'm just going to read this, it'll be popping up here, you'll see it. If you just forget it, from Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, so listen to this. If you think mutual funds are going to be there for you, if you want to bet your life on the ups and downs of the stock market, that's your retirement you're betting on. What happens if the stock market goes up and then comes crashing down again when you're 85 years old? You have no control. I'm not saying mutual funds are bad, I'm just saying they're not safe and they're not smart, and I wouldn't bet my financial future on them. Never before in the history of the world have so many people bet their retirement on the stock market. That is insane. If you think Social Security is going to be there to take care of you, then you also believe in the Easter Bunny. Okay? Guys, in a 15-month period between August of 2007 and October 2008, $2 trillion in Americans' retirement savings wiped out. Gone. $2 trillion. How many people had to come out of retirement because they just didn't have it? They weren't prepared. It was all there. Yes, could it happen again? Absolutely. Okay? Totally could happen again. Your job is not going to take care of you. The government is not going to take care of you. That's industrial age thinking. The rules have changed. My parents believed in job security, company pensions, Social Security, and Medicare. These are all worn out, obsolete ideas from an age gone by. What are you going to do about it? Moaning and groaning won't secure your future. Neither will blaming Wall Street, the big bankers, corporate America, or the government. If you want a solid future, you need to create it. You can take charge of your future only when you take control of your income source. You need your own business. Coming from him. #1 personal selling finance book of all time, Rich Dad Poor Dad. So he breaks it down. A lot of you guys have seen this. I'm going to hit this real quick so you can understand it. Some of you guys that are new, he talks about this in his books, the cash flow quadrant. Okay? 4 different places, E, S, B, and I. So E, the employee. This is how we've all been taught. Go to school, get good grades, go work for somebody else for 40 years of your life. How's that system working? I mean, it's just not. Okay, but that's what we're taught, and that's what most of us do. We've all been there, I've been there, right? So you're an employee, you have a job, you're trading time for money. And there was a time in the day when that was secure. And a lot of people out there, they still think that's secure. It's not. It's not. We're in a new economy. So what happens, a lot of times people get sick and tired of going in and being told when they got to be there, what they got to do, when they can eat, when they can pee, when they can spend time with their kids, whatever. So they go start their own thing. See, unfortunately, the last real job I had like that where I had to show up like that was, I think I was waiting tables for the spaghetti factory when I was in college. And I learned in about 2 or 3 weeks that I'm a horrible waiter. You don't want me waiting tables for you. I was going to say, my very first night waiting tables, so we're in Indianapolis, Indiana, that's where I'm from, Indiana, and the spaghetti factory, the floors in there are these like shellac, varnished hardwood floors. And it's this big place, whatever. And so my first night is a Saturday night, they give me this whole section, I get a birthday party coming in. Are you kidding me? My first night. It's like 15, 20 people, and I come out with this big tray of drinks. They told us in training, they said, that floor, be careful, because if it gets wet, it's slicker than snot. I mean, you be real careful. So I'm walking out with this big giant tray, a couple bottles of wine, pictures of sodas, drinks, glasses, beers, all this stuff, and lugging this thing out, and sure enough, didn't see it, up and down, and that thing went flying, and drinks went flying, and glasses breaking, and that whole section of the room starts clapping, you know how it is, and it's like it was the most god-awful, horrible experience ever. And they let me go. They let me go home that night. They said, yeah, you can leave now. And about 2 weeks later, I'm like, I am out of here. That just didn't work very well. But that was the last real job I had. I figured out a long time ago, I'm a horrible employee. I'm unemployable right now. I'm just telling you right now. to go in and work for somebody else. So I was going to work for myself since college. When we got back here and we moved here, started working in real estate. Again, I wanted the freedom of it and all this kind of stuff, and not in real estate. I'm grateful for it. But it got to a point where the business owns you. Any small business owners in here? Yeah, sometimes that can happen. If it's not built right, whatever, here's where we really want to get is over here the business owner. You have a system that works. Whether you're there or not. And if you build it that way, you can leverage yourself, right? And then you have the investors down here where the money works for you. So really 4 different ways to make money. Now if you look at it, 5% of the wealth is on this half, 95% of the wealth is over there. Where would we rather be? Over there, right? But where are we? 95% of the population is over here, 5% is over there. It's hard to get to that side, okay? So, here's a question to ask yourself. If I stop working today, how much income continues to come in? Here's the one that got me. It was probably about a year before I saw World Ventures. I was reading his second book called The Cash Flow Quadrant. Okay, it breaks that whole thing down in a big, big way. And he had this question. Out of the book, if you leave your business for 1 year, no contact, no phone calls, no texts, no emails, but your business has grown while you were gone, or at least maintained itself without you. And when I answered that question as a realtor, running this big business with 140 homes a year and all kinds of money, without question, the answer to that was a big no. I could leave for maybe a week. That was it. It relied on me. It would not run without me, and I was depressed for weeks. Because I wasn't trying to build that. I want to get out. It just wouldn't run that way. So again, here I am stuck in that S box, the self-employed box. So there's lots of different ways that you can come up with your own business, whatever. Franchises, nothing wrong with that. A lot of people do that, whatever. You can go buy a franchise. Now here's the thing. It's going to cost a lot of money to do that, typically. Okay? Like McDonald's. I do know about McDonald's. It's about $1 million to start a franchise for McDonald's. And then you got all the royalty fees, and you got all the marketing fees, and you got all this kind of stuff that has to go on there. It takes the typical McDonald's franchise owner 7 years to where they start making a profit. Costs them $1 million on average per franchise. Takes them 7 years to make a profit, and then the average McDonald's franchise owner makes $60,000 a year. Okay, that's why they own, most of them own 5, 6, 7, 8 restaurants or more. But how much money is going out to get that going? Again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a way to do it, okay? Is there a better way? I think so, okay? You can go buy rental houses, fix and flips, all that kind of stuff. And I've done that. We've had rental properties. I want to get more. I'm all good for it, okay? Now, the other day, I was with a realtor, this was about 2 weeks ago. I was showing a realtor down in Colorado Springs, World Ventures, and as we're talking all this through, one of the things that she told me, she said her and her husband, they have 5 rental properties. And they're making about, on average, $400, cash flow after they pay the mortgage on it, $400 to come on the house, which is great. So about $2,000 a month coming in on those 5 houses that they got. Extra money. So pretty cool. Let's say the average about $200,000 a house down there when you're doing like a rental property, fix and flip, whatever. Typically as an investor, you're going to put 20% down, which means $40,000 per house, so $200,000 total, and they're making $2,000 a month. Now again, nothing wrong with that. It's a way to do it. Okay? Is there a better way? Absolutely. Okay? This article, saw this last night online, how owning 22 rental properties can retire you faster than $1 million in a 401k. So this guy that wrote this article, he kind of broke that all down and explained it. His average down payment on these 22 properties was $12,000 per house. So $264,000 on average that he put out there to do that. It took him 9 years to get to this point, and his positive cash flow total for those 22 houses was $8,800 a month. Okay, now here's what, you know why I'm going here with all this, because again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay, that's good. We'll have more rental properties, and we'll be doing more of that with the real estate. Multiple streams of income, it's all fine. But $8,800 a month, we're talking right around, high marketing director, average RMD. How much did it cost to start this business? 120 bucks? 45 if you're under 25? 20 bucks a month to run it, right? It's just, does that sound like just maybe a better way? A little bit? Heck yeah, it's a better way. Because I'm just saying, here's the thing, I want you to understand something, guys. We've got the deal in this company. I've been in this for 9 years, and I'm telling you what, I am more fired up and pumped up and excited about where we are right now as a company and where we're getting ready to go than I've ever been in the 9 years I've been in this. It is unbelievable what's going to happen in this company. I'm telling you, I've gotten to know Wayne pretty well in the last year. He was on that yacht trip we were on. We spent a lot of time together. I'm just telling you guys, yeah, we're going to hear from him later on. The vision of this guy and where we're going, I'm telling you, you are in the right place at the right time. Do not miss it. Do not miss it, okay? Again, Robert Kiyosaki. If I had to do it all over again today and start from scratch, rather than building an old-style business, I'd start out by building a network marketing business. That's coming from him. That's a quote right there out of the book, okay? Does he know a little bit about money? Absolutely, guys. Here, what do some of the people say? And you guys, I know in the Rat Pack presentation, you guys have a slide in there with Robert and a couple other people, Warren Buffett. I just want you guys to get the confidence and get the belief that you've got the deal, that you are in a very viable, powerful industry. It is not something to shrink back from. It is not something like, somebody asks you, is that one of those things? Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't. You need to be confident with that and have a posture with that. Don't well, not really. Well, no. They're not going to join you. We're going to wait and say, oh, Jesus, one of those. Yeah, good luck with that. Whatever. We've been there. We've all heard that kind of stuff. Guys, Warren Buffett, Kirby Vacuums. It was his company. Okay, Pampered Chef. It's his company. Richard Branson on one. That book right there, Business of the 21st Century. We're not going to talk politics, but they wrote a book together, Donald Trump, Robert Kiyosaki, why we recommend network marketing. Do they know about money? Yes, and they're endorsing this industry. Forbes magazine in 2014 had an article, would you join a multi-level marketing company for retirement income? Here's a quote out of that article. The entire industry, network marketing, is poised for explosive growth and can be one of the most significant solutions to America's current retirement savings crisis. One of the most respected business publications out there, here's what they say, okay? I just want you guys to understand that you are in a very, very powerful industry. Here's some of the companies and corporations that are distributing at least one or more of their products in this industry, network marketing. Okay, it's, again, who watches commercials anymore? Unless it's the Super Bowl, we ain't watching it. We're flipping through them, we're watching Netflix, all this other stuff. We're getting bombarded by ads everywhere we go. We're not paying attention anymore. Word of mouth is the best there is, and they know that, and it doesn't cost them anything. So they get their products out to us, and now we go talk about it. Would you rather go to a movie because your friend's like, oh my God, you got to see that movie, or you saw something online? It's just, we're going to go because our friends tell us. And it's the same thing here. But look at all these companies, guys, that are doing this. They are in network marketing in some way, shape, or form. It's powerful. Would they be doing it if it wasn't for real? Would they be doing it if it wasn't legit? Would they be doing it if it was illegal? No, not at all. Global retail sales in 2016, $183 billion in network marketing. We haven't heard the numbers yet for 2017, it's probably more. 107 million people, including you, are part of network marketing. This is a big industry, and I'm telling you what, it's growing like crazy. Because of that shift in advertising, all those corporations, all these big business people, money people, roughly $73 billion, 40% of the $183 billion was paid directly to distributors last year, or in 2016, by commissions. $6.1 billion a month, $203 million a day being poured out into the distributors and network marketing companies. That's huge. That's huge. Now here's what's cool about this, because you take the average dollar going into a network marketing company and split three ways. Okay? 1/3 goes to corporate, 1/3 goes towards the product, manufacturing, storage, shipping, all that stuff. 1/3 goes back to the field. We don't have to manufacture a product. We don't have to store a product, although Hawaii in my garage would be very cool. Okay? We don't have to ship a product. So what happens here? About 1/3 goes to corporate, 2/3 comes back to us. It's one of the most richest pay plans that I've ever seen. Okay? And this is 9 years, guys, of being in this and stuff like that. So think about this. This question was asked. What would you do with the money if you won the Powerball lottery? It's like, a couple months ago, it got really big. How it does that every so often. And everybody runs out and buys, $100 worth of tickets and all this kind of stuff, hoping they win. When this survey was happening, here's what happened. 1% said they paid debts. That's a problem, but that was the answer. 3% said they invested. 4% said they donated. 92% said they traveled. So guys, here's the thing. I want you to understand, you are not only in an unbelievable industry that is absolutely exploding around the world, okay, but you are in the company that is going to take this thing to the top. I'm just telling you guys, you don't know what you got. We know what we got. We know what we got because we've been in this thing and we've been digging in the trenches for, some months and years and years. We know what we got our hands on, guys. It's huge. So what kind of asset can you build in this company? Let's take a senior rep. Senior reps, all senior reps, stand up real quick. Stand up. Give them a round of applause. Senior reps. Stay standing. Stay standing. Here's what I want you guys to say. Because I think sometimes you don't understand what we've really got here, okay? A senior rep, 30 on your left team, 30 on your right team. It's primarily you doing it. It's probably one of the hardest ranks to hit in the whole entire company. You're learning it, you're building it. Here's the thing: the average annual income $7,666. On the last income disclosure statement. So what does that mean? Let's say you inherited, money through, maybe a death in the family or something, and you get a trust fund. Okay, here's what that means. If that trust fund was there and you're pulling money out every year, for it to equal $7,666, at 3% interest, you have built an asset of $255,534. That's what you've done, and feel awesome about that. Shout it and look what I did. It's a powerful thing. You did it. Go and have a seat. Congratulations. Okay? Understand, that's what you've done. Don't take that lightly. It's huge. It's huge, and it's paying you every month. Okay? Director, 90-90. Average annual income. Director, stand up. Give a round of applause. I don't know if you have anything to great job. You guys have my leadership. Powerful stuff. You guys have built an asset worth $825,300. Congratulations. Huge what you just did. Okay? Great, big. Marketing director, stand up. Where are you? Up here? You're up here? Before I go on, I just want to say something, because seriously, the leadership, and I love, we don't benefit from each other, whatever, the Rat Pack and our team and all this kind of stuff, but it's one of the best things you're going to see if you're around here for a while. It is one big team, it is one big family, and everybody working together, and I appreciate you guys pulling us in all the time. They do all the time, guys. When who went to United, in Kansas City? Was it an unbelievable thing? I mean, seriously, Zoe coming out right there, first thing came out today. The whole time you were up there, I'm just telling you, man, I was just sitting there like that, he's ours, he's Denver, he's Colorado. I'm like, oh my God, this is so powerful. It was powerful. We're going to hear from him later today. But marketing directors, you have two teams, 200 each. There's some lineage things and money things in there. Average annual income, $56,000. You build a trust fund of $1,882,667. How cool is that? This is where we are, okay? RMDs. Where's Nick? Nick Greco, where's Nick? He's running around. Oh, he's on a Zoom call. There you go. Well, RMD is here, right here, $128,000. You also get that $1,000 car bonus, kind of cool. $4,277,000. Pretty huge, okay? RMD is Brian. RMD. Shouldn't be on there. Heck yeah. 3 teams, 600 each. Average annual income right there, $8,379,000. That's the asset that these guys are going to build. Okay? IMD, Zoe, Sashin twice. Holy cow. Can't wait to hear from him. 3 teams, 1,000 each. You also get that $1,500 car bonus and $3,000 to pay for your house if you're brand new. We don't talk about that a lot, but how cool is that? Your house is paid for, your car is paid for, and then you're making what, $586,000 a year. That's pretty cool. Okay? $19,553,000. That's the asset that man right there is going to build. That's his business up here. Now, what if you maximize the comp plan? That's the most you can get paid in Morrell Ventures right there on an annual basis. Will that work? We'll help you with your budget if you need some help. Okay? Now, if you max it out, you know what they do? They give you another business center right above the one that you got. So half of there's your right team. It's already built to this. Now you just got to start building your left team and you build another one. How cool is that, right? $65,133,000. That's the asset that's built if you get to that point. Okay? So, what's better? You know, you can do that. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? That works. You can do that. You know, $105,000 a year. It took them 9 years to do it. 22 rental homes. Now, I'll be honest, I don't want the headache of being a landlord for 22 rental homes. We're not even taking into account how much does it cost them every year when people move out, and now you got to go in there and paint and carpet and clean up and all that other stuff that goes along with that. I mean, again, it's all good. We'll have more rental properties. We'll do more real estate. But I'm just saying, you know, what's better? That's better. I'm just telling you guys, we got it right away. Okay? When Wayne was here back in January, he said this: become an expert in this industry. Become an expert. Read the books. Become a professional. You can become a professional in anything you want to become a professional in. If your passion is photography, you can go buy a few books and get online, and seriously, within a couple of years, you can be an absolute pro at that. We have that ability now to do all this kind of stuff. Most people never read another book after they're done with college, or if they even go to college, whatever. Because you need to become a reader. Well, I just like reading. Audible. I mean, what, $10 a month, whatever. Get a book every month and listen while you're driving around in your car. But I'm telling you what, you've got to become a leader. You've got to become someone that 3,000 people will follow if you want to be IMD. Who wants to be an IMD in here? Woo! Every hand goes up every time, just about. But here's the thing: if you're not going to work on you, it will never happen. It won't. You have to become an IMD. You know, who wants to be a director? I mean, that's the next step for some. So you're right. You want to be a director. You've got to become a director. So it's going to take work on you. You have to become that person, and then, here it comes. The title will follow. Because the people follow. Because they see you growing. Your income seldom exceeds your personal development. We got stuck at marketing director for a couple, 2-3 years, and I really realized I'd gotten very far away from really just working on me. I was in the motion of all the appointments and doing all the stuff and all that, but the books, I had one book that take you 6 months to read it because I just didn't have time. I had to get back to this. I had to get back to reading and digging in and working on me. And then all of a sudden it started to go. Along with some other things we can talk about later. But become an expert in this industry so that when you go out to these appointments, it's all this one of those pyramid things. No, it's not. You have no idea what you're talking about. And you can tell them why. Have a posture with it, okay? This book here, Outliers, he says it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert in anything. If you did that 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, it'd take about 5 years to do it. With us in our real estate, that's about what it was. We started in 2002, 2007, we sold 148 homes. It got that point. It took time. I was horrible at the beginning. Real estate. The very first house I listed, it was like these friends we knew sort of from church, and they're going to list their house with me. So I go over there, it was like in February or something in 2002, and 6 o'clock at night, it's dark out because it's February, and I'm pounding a sign in the front yard. I went up to the front door, and this little Japanese lady answered the door. I'm like, oh, who are you? Hello, and I realized I'm in the wrong house. Holy, I'm about to screw that up. Thank God I knocked on the door. They wake up the next morning, what the heck? Are you moving? Somebody's selling our house. What the heck's going on? It was like 2 doors down. It was one of those cookie cutter neighborhoods. They all look the same. So I figured, I got better than that over time. I did. But it really, guys, if you've been in over a year here, who's messed up before in here? Did you ever mess it up? Did you ever just get off the phone something like, what the heck was that all about? Why did I say that? Anybody? Yeah, not just me? Okay, good. I'm not alone. You ever walk out of an appointment going oh my goodness, what is wrong with me? Right, guys, we messed up. I messed it up today. We all mess up. We all have our good days and bad days and good moments and bad moments. We've gotten better because we just kept going. I want to encourage you guys been around 6 months less, a year less, you're going to hit these ranks and it's not going as fast as you want. Hang in there. Keep going. Plug in. Read the books. Do the stuff because you get better and better and better the more you do it. Here's the catch. You've got to be able to accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. And I don't mean that in a demeaning way, but that's just the truth. They don't know what they don't know. And you've got to be willing to accept that. You're going to have those appointments. My first year, I'd sit down with some of these realtors you're doing what? What? Why? What? You're top 10 in town. You're an idiot. Why would you do that? What is wrong with you? And that starts hitting sometimes. And you start wrestling with that. Somebody says, it's a pyramid thing. It's this, it's that, whatever. And it's and somebody don't know what to do. And it beats you up. You got to be willing to go through some of this. But go through it. Here's what most people do. The mistake that they make, okay, is they come into a network marketing business and they think, well, let's see, my brother will do this and my best friend, and then they got about 5 or 6 people, and they go show them, they screw it all up because they don't plug into the system, they go out and do it their own way, it doesn't work, and then they go back, they quit, and then they badmouth the industry, and it's one of those things, and those things don't work, and blah, 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 and it's all over the internet and all this kind of stuff. And you're dealing with that when you're going out with some of these people. And you've got to be willing to, again, they just don't know what they don't know. And you got to get past that. You push through that. It's like buying, this isn't like buying a lottery ticket. You got 6 scratch-offs with your 6 friends and hope that you hit somebody big. This is going to take work. It's going to take effort. Is it worth it? Ask anybody up here if it's worth it. Holy cow, is it worth it? We walked away from our real estate 4 years ago because of this. Never, and even now, I meet with some realtors like, what? Because we're having the time of our life. That's why. This gave me my life back. That's what it did. That's what it did. Guys, I'm just telling you, it's just better. It's better. Know that you got the deal. Don't be afraid of what people think. Get past that. One of the biggest things, I remember it was United probably 4 or 5 years ago, and Marcus said, I got the top 20 income earners across the stage. We were in Vegas, and he had the mic, and he passed it down the line one at a time. What was the one thing you had to get over to make this thing work, to get it onto this stage, to now be IMD? And I'm telling you right now, probably 16 out of the 20, it was fear. It was fear. We look at them and we think, oh my God, they're just unbelievable. They've grown into that. You hear their stories. I'm just telling you guys, their stories, they all have stories. Zoe's got a story. Zoe is a different person today than he was when I met him 9 years ago. In an unbelievable way. I mean, you watch him at one of these big events, I'm just telling you, throngs of people in their 60s and 70s coming up and just want to get a picture with the guy. Seriously, because he's become that person that people will follow, and have been through all this. One of the best parts about this journey that you're going to be on, that we're all on, it's the prizes along the way. It's who you're going to become, to get to that point where you're an IMD. IMD is great. All the stuff that comes with it, all the accolades, all the freedom, all that stuff. We want it all. I want it. Okay? But the power of it is, I know I'm going to be a different person when I get there. I'm not there yet. I'm still working on it. Still got work to do. Okay? So, that's what I got, guys. Thank you very much. Brian?